Welcome back to the JefeTalk podcast. It is season 2. I'm your host, Jefe. I got a special guest here tonight, business relationship manager, Miss Candy. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to curate your own vibe like a boss. Let's get it. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a long await, way overdue, but I'm happy to be back tonight. I'm a little rusty, y'all, so I got to get back in my element, my flow, but we gonna make it work. It's been going on a year now, right? We had a great, successful season one. Few statistics for y'all. I mean, we're in over 100 different countries, over 10,000 listeners, so it's definitely been a blessing. I just appreciate everybody that came through, listened, subscribed, also gave some great comments. So I want to thank y'all for that. But we did a little bit upgrades. We got video now. So not only are you going to get my podcast through your podcast subscription or whatever service from Spotify, Apple, you also can catch me on YouTube. All right. So let's get right into it. So tonight I have a special guest. She goes by the name Miss Candy. She is a business professional in business relationships. But what allowed me to even consider hitting her up to come on the show was, if you guys ever follow Miss Candy, and of course I'm gonna have to have you plug your information in. She is full of energy, She also have great motivational comments and little videos and reels and all types of stuff. And I'm like, yo, I feel good after listening. And that's usually my job. I usually try to motivate and push. So it always feels good to just bring somebody else along on the show and just get that empowerment to help other people and connect. And of course, JefeTalk is all about being your own boss and not so much of, telling people what to do or being in charge. It's more of having a boss mentality and having more control over your own life, which is the biggest message behind this. Of course, everybody, you guys know JefeTalk slogan is act, think, live, right? We take actions, we execute, and then we think about it. We tweak it. We make it the best way we can have it adjusted for us in our lives, because sometimes we overthink, right? We become complacent. We never take actions, right? So JefeTalk is a vibe, is a movement. So leading into that, Miss Candy, why don't you introduce yourself and let people know a little bit about you before we start the show?
Thank you so much, first and foremost, for having me on your show. I'm so humbled to be a guest. You guys can find me on Instagram at Miss K Renee. That's MissKayRenee. And just a little bit about myself. I live in Florida. I've been a healthcare professional for going on 15 years. I have a great family, a beautiful daughter, and I have gone through some life experiences that have humbled me.
Talk about it.
They have definitely humbled me and brought me to where I am right now. And, as I get older, I just want to put out good energy and good vibes and have positive conversations with people and grow together. And there's so much negative stuff going on in the world that I want to be someone that's, energy and light and
Yeah,
bring some kind of goodness around.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. We kind of use our experiences to come up with great ways to move forward, and use it as learning lessons, which is
Sure.
really important. And do I got your name spelled right on the ticker below?
You sure do.
All
Thank
right,
you
see,
so much.
I'm good. I'm getting the dust off. So make sure y'all follow her and support her as well. So tonight we're gonna be talking about how to curate your own vibe. Curate your own vibe. Now, first of all, what are you sipping on, Miss Candy? You have something to drink tonight?
So I got a little something for this night. I'm
All right.
just
Look, this is boss talk, so we gotta be here like bosses sipping on something, right?
I got my little boss cup. You don't have whiskey in it, but it's a little whiskey cup.
Nah,
I'm
that'll
drinking
work.
Riesling. I prefer a German Riesling if I'm just relaxing and
Okay.
chilling. So that's what I'm drinking
All right, a
tonight.
little international over there. That's
A
what's
little
up. That's what's
something.
up. All right, but yeah, so curating your own vibe. Um, Number one, I mean, let's just jump into it. What's a vibe
Let's
first,
do it.
right? What is a vibe?
What
What's your
is a
thoughts? What does that mean to you, Miss Candy, on what is a vibe? What is the definition in your terms?
In my terms, a vibe is being your most authentic self internally and then blessing those that you come in contact with,
Mm,
knowing you, being able to feel your authenticity. That's what a
yeah,
vibe is. You got to be yourself in order to reflect that to other people.
I
And
like
like
that.
when you love yourself and you know who you are and you've grown through things, your vibe, it's just going to come displayed naturally. It's going to
Mm.
come out.
That's interesting. I think when even the term vibe came out, right? I don't think it's been out for
Yeah, it's
way too long. Like it was something that it got a little trendy. I think maybe
mhm.
about 5-10 years ago. But everybody kept posting vibe. I need to find a vibe. This is a vibe.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, you know who I think started it? Fabulous.
I don't remember. I just remember that song. It's a vibe. Who was that? Ty
Yeah.
Dolla Sign or somebody?
Oh yeah, that is Ty. That is Ty.
And then
Yeah.
just the beat was catchy with it, and everybody was like, "Yeah, that's a vibe."
Matter of
And then
fact,
from there, you just
yeah.
wanted a vibe.
What? I think I might have to give him credit because I thought Fabulous had like a saying with it, but I think Ty when he came out with that whole song,
The song just
yeah,
really just the
yeah,
beat, the production about it, everything was literally a vibe.
yeah. That's a good point. So yeah, I
Mhm.
guess for me, a vibe, kind of like you said, is it has to be a purpose behind it first of all, and of course, if we don't, without getting too deep, I'm a big believer in frequencies and energy,
Mhm.
and it all just comes down to what vibration are we giving out, what vibration are we receiving, because that
Mhm.
literally dictates how we're going to feel. It affects our mood.
Absolutely.
And to add to your point, you said on what you do for others into this world, and you can't really be an effective person if your energy is not right.
Mm.
So I agree with that.
And your energy is never gonna be, in my opinion, your energy is not gonna be where it's supposed to be if you're not right within yourself. When
mm,
you're right within yourself and you're growing yourself and you're learning yourself and you're healing from things, like that vibe is you.
mm-hmm,
And when you haven't gone through that and done any of those big life healing situations that humble you, it's like you're searching for your vibe,
yeah,
right?
that's
And then
true.
you're seeing other people and it's like, oh well, is their vibe my vibe? Am I catching a vibe from their vibe? And it's like not your most authentic
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I like that because I do find a lot of people kind of feeding off other people's energy. It could be
Mhm.
good or bad, but sometimes you find yourself just doing this nonstop year
Mhm.
after year. Before you know it, you a grown ass man in your 40s trying to wear tight jeans and just all types of stuff
Sports
that
jerseys all the time. Like I'm
yeah,
gonna
like
need
bro,
you to
you
put a suit on.
47 with a jersey on and a fitted talking about where the party at. Like, nah, bro. You gotta be on a different different level at that point. Now I'm not saying you don't have fun, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the same time you gotta let them jerseys go. So
I mean, yeah.
all right, so good
Pull the
point, good
pants
point.
up.
Exactly, right? Yeah, so the next topic on this subject is next question is how to curate your vibe like a boss. Like a
Mm,
boss. And this question is really important because there's one thing of setting the mood, maybe rolling up a J or whatever you do to kind of get your mind right, whether you take a drink of something or whether you watch something or listen to something.
mhm,
But how do we take it to the next level, right? How do we do it on a boss level where we're being more calculated on setting the tone for the day or setting the type of frequency we need to be effective at a high level? So,
mhm,
Ms. Candy, let me ask you, especially in the work environment you're at, and I'm sure it can be challenging at times, but what caught my attention about you was every morning You are in that whip with a huge smile. You got your praise and worship on. You got everything. What would you say is, or what advice can you give to people that just struggles with learning how to create their own vibe and energy to get through the day?
So, if I was to give advice to someone, I would say get up a little earlier.
Mm.
And the reason why I say get up a little earlier is most people need a moment in time to really wake up. So for me personally, by the time you see my video, I've been up for 3 hours.
Mm. Okay.
I get up
Okay.
at 4:45 in the
Yeah.
morning. I'm
Mm-hmm.
up before the sun is up. For me personally, that is like a blessing to be able to see the sunrise. It's like I am able to watch God's energy.
Mm.
God's energy is rising when that sun come up.
Oh, she getting deep with us. Let me take
So
another sip. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
so that right there is a blessing in itself. There's energy from that. A lot of people have never even seen a sunrise.
Mm.
So get up earlier, see those special moments that you're not going to have forever. And then when I think of a boss, the
Mm-hmm.
first word that comes to mind is confidence.
Mm. Okay.
So you got to display your confidence for yourself. I'm not displaying confidence for someone else. This is for me.
Yeah.
When I boost my confidence and I'm feeling good about myself and I'm loving myself,
Uh huh.
that energy with the sun,
Oh, that's the formula right there.
it's just, and then you put on a little bit of music and it's
Yeah.
just like, you know what? Let's get it done.
Uh huh.
Because the day is going to pass anyways, time is going to pass anyways. So you
Exactly.
can pass with good energy, you can pass with bad energy, but
Mm.
what you give out is what you're going to get back.
Yo, she dropping some gems on y'all. Like, I mean, she gave y'all the cheat code to being happy. Like, I mean, I want you to think about it because number one, especially in my professional career before I left corporate, I saw the difference from me just waking up
Hmm.
just in enough time to get to work, hear what whoever got to tell me what to do. And then I started seeing the executives before I even moved up or ranked up in different ways. On these guys will be up 4 o'clock in the morning, hitting the gym, right, eating breakfast, and I'll be like, yo, because I remember when I talked to my mentor. I have several mentors over the year, but he always told me, look, Christian, and that's my name for y'all don't know, but you got to get up, bro. You got to get up earlier. You can't be
Hmm.
just getting up just to get through the day. You got to get up to create your day.
Hmm.
And
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
yeah, that right there changed my life because that's when I started getting into understanding the power of setting the schedule for the day,
Hmm.
organizing my
Hmm.
day. And,
Hmm.
and I'm not gonna lie, I still have my little off moments or where I gotta improvise, but I've seen a shift. And for me, curating a vibe is really important. Like I love the fact that you said, "Hey, you want to wake up early and sometimes and just get in touch with, your spiritual side or whatever you believe in, or even God, because He's literally is watching you, right? And when
Hmm.
it comes down to these blessings that we always pray for, look, we can't expect any blessings without having an intentional focus to receive them, and
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
can't really do that for yourself if you just waking up last minute trying to get to work, you
You
know.
waking up last minute, you're rushing to get stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
you're not dressed the way you want to be dressed, like your makeup if you're a woman ain't right, your hair is not right, and
Mm.
and really all those things play a factor in your confidence.
That's true. That was a good point you said. Confidence is key. Oh my gosh. What would you say? I mean, I know I'm kind of going off a little bit of topic, but how do people determine confidence over cockiness? That's been a story of my life because for me, I'm gonna tell you, I could. You tell me there's an impossible mission, I'm selling myself first and I'm gonna knock it out. And
Mhm.
sometimes that aura, that energy, when it's around other people because they're fearful
Mhm.
of doing maybe that task or opportunity, and they see this guy or woman come in like, yo, she's a little bit too confident about this, they start turning that into cockiness. Have you ever experienced that?
That's so good. I'm so glad you brought that up because confidence and cockiness is the perception, in my opinion, of the other person.
Ooh, let me
I
write that down. Hold
can
on, where my pen
be
at?
confident,
the,
right?
the perception of somebody else. Okay, yeah.
Right. So I feel confident, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because you may not be confident in yourself, you may be thinking or projecting or receiving my confidence as cockiness.
Mm.
It ain't
That's
got
true.
nothing to do with me.
Nothing. It's not your
Nothing.
problem.
It is you. You need to work on yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
when you work on yourself, all the people that I'm cool with, we all confident. You're not cocky. You're not cocky. You're not cocky. We are goal driven. We are
Mm.
moving and shaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're equally as confident. I'm supporting you. It's never a conversation of ego or anything like that. But you
Yeah.
have to know yourself. You have to love within yourself, or you're always going to think someone else is cocky.
That's true. That's true. Man,
I mean,
that
that's just my
you
opinion.
no, you hit the nail on the head. I have conversations with my boys all the time on just knowing what you want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be ashamed of speaking that, because we could also talk about speaking things into existence, writing down your affirmations and your vision. And
Mm-hmm.
what usually, like you said, exposes personalities is when they find that as a, like, they're envious of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe they haven't figured it out. So bosses out there, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
And I want to just add
Please
to
do.
that. So if I let's just talk about this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I come in and I'm confident, and you think that it's my ego or I'm
Mm-hmm.
cocky, or what are you projecting?
Mm,
Bad energy.
that's true.
So now my good energy is meeting your bad energy. Now our energies are fighting. So either my good energy is rubbing off on you, or your negative energy is rubbing off on me. But either way, there is going to be an energy
So, yep,
exchange between the two.
that's true. That's true, because just the idea of cockiness is a negative, tone about it. And the
If you're
moment you,
arrogant, cocky, ego, it's all the same in different words,
that's
right?
true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So bosses out there, you have to find that balance. You got to find that frequency that puts you in a mood of just selflessness and joy, right? It might be just reflecting
Mm-hmm.
about your
Love that
kids
word.
or your family, or maybe it's just getting more in tune with God. But I promise you, the more you start learning how to actually find that frequency of
Mm-hmm.
energy, which we call in today's term a vibe, I promise you, you'll be moving at a much higher efficiency, whether you're at work or whether you're just trying to get through the day.
I'm
So
gonna
I love
toast to
that.
that
Let's
one.
let's matter of fact, toast bosses out
So
there.
let's toast that up.
Make sure you guys sip to that. All right, awesome. So we kind of touched on it a little bit. What's the benefits of having your own vibe versus, you feeding off somebody else's all the time, or you jocking somebody, you jacking somebody? What's the benefits to you when you could create your own aura or light, to say?
The benefit is that you can't be me.
Ooh, oh, talk
Ooh.
that talk. Okay.
You know,
Are we
you
on that
can't
type of
be
time? All
me.
right.
And if it's your own vibe, I can't be you.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't want to be you. I should want to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the benefit of your own vibe is just being you and being authentically you and just being.
Mm.
It's just like so many people are so worried about being somebody else,
Yeah, that's true.
acting like somebody else, moving like somebody else. Like you're so special
Yeah.
that you were born to just be you.
And what do you think is the cause of people, finding yourself trying to find some identity through other people? What do you think curates that or pushes that agenda?
You know what? Social media has a lot to do with
Yeah,
it.
we gonna talk about that.
The
Matter of fact.
entertainment, we going upbringing.
True.
This generation is brought up by younger people who
Uh
haven't
huh.
experienced a lot of life. And so you're growing and learning together
Yeah.
versus, like my parents are older. My parents are in their, late 50s and 60s.
Uh huh. Mine's
They
too. Yeah.
were, they grew up in a different time.
Different, way different era.
Right.
Yeah.
So things that they pass down to me are different than, someone may have passed down to their kid because, maybe you had your kid young and you hadn't experienced a lot of life yet.
Uh
And so
huh.
you're experiencing life with that child. So it's a little bit different
That's true.
era.
I definitely believe, just our upbringing has a big part in that,
Hmm.
right? I think, you
Yeah.
know, how our parents, started their day, how they reacted to certain things.
How those parents got up earlier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's like you start seeing today's generation. And look, I sound like an old head, but when you start when you start seeing today's generation, kind of strain away from those traditional things,
Hmm.
which I won't get into yet, which I believe is pushing us further and further of having a connection with God. You start realizing seeing the chain effect, right? The
Hmm.
things that happens when we don't wake up on time, or when we don't appreciate waking up and finding that right frequency to start our day, which
Hmm.
is really, really important. So, when we talk about the benefits of having your own vibe, it's like you said, it creates your identity. It's
Hmm.
something unique about you. When you walk in a room, people feel it, they sense it, and it might just
Hmm.
make somebody else smile. It might just make somebody feel compelled to come out and say, you know what, Christian or Miss Candy, listen, I'm going through something, but I always see you just having this self confidence. Like, maybe you could, so it's just stuff like that I think is really important, you
You
know?
said something just now, and it made me think of a long time ago, right? So I remember when I think I was in junior high, my school counselor, the lady, damn, she was just always smiling. Every
Yeah.
time I saw her ass, she was smiling.
Uh
And
huh.
I remember asking her one day, why the hell do you smile so much? Because it was just like all the time. And she said, well, if I'm smiling and you see me smiling, now you're smiling.
That's
What a
true.
transfer.
It's,
What
yeah,
a
what they
transfer.
said laughter is what is it called? Is it addicting? No, it's contagious.
Mm.
Right, so smiling is contagious, right? Even if
Hmm.
they look goofy, like you, like, oh, you got a goofy smile, but it's
Now
funny,
you smile
right?
at that
Now,
goofy smile.
yeah, whether I'm laughing at you or I'm just trying to be like, yo, why you goofy over there? But
Right.
it's very contagious, so really important. All right, I like that. So the next question is when to activate your own vibe. This is really, really important, y'all. I know, this has have been a crazy last going on 2 years, from the pandemic, from the transition with politics, just a lot of different things that probably might be overwhelming for us, right? So we got to start figuring out, when do we really need to tap in into that frequency or that vibe or that energy, to make sure we can keep our emotions and our spirit just balanced,
Hmm.
right? So what would you say, and I think you mentioned it earlier in the beginning of your day, but when would you say is the best time to activate this vibe we talking about?
Activate that shit ASAP.
Look, before you
Activate
go to
your
sleep,
vibe, man.
sometimes you gotta do it right before you go to sleep and wake up, because
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Activate your vibe immediately. When you're awake,
Mm-hmm.
activate your vibe.
Yeah.
But know when your vibe is not vibing with
Mm.
other people, other energies, other places, and then remove yourself from that.
You know what? That's a skill set.
You had to
What?
listen to that gut, right? That
Yeah,
gut feeling is a vibe, it's an
that's true.
energy, it's
Yeah.
something within you talking to you, telling you back up, back away, move away, or go here, come here. This is
Yeah.
fun, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, activate your vibe.
Correct.
Carry it with you all the time, and then know when to remove yourself from situations that are not going to keep your vibe positive.
That's huge. In the business world, for the most part, we call that social. I'm sorry. Social intelligence. No, is it social?
Emotional
Thank you.
intelligence.
See, I'm a look.
Hmm.
This whiskey head. Emotional intelligence. Right. There's a great book out there, by the way. Everybody pick it up. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0.
Hmm.
And that book talks about being very calculated and being understanding how to read people effectively, right? I think for me and you, for the most part, it does come natural. But at the same time, some people they just miss the ball completely. They don't know when to be quiet. They don't know, when they should say something or not. And it throws off the entire energy sometimes,
Hmm.
just because you're
Hmm.
not paying attention. My dad taught me, quick to listen, slow to speak. And I never really understood that. I'm like, yo, why you keep telling me, yo, I'm a talker. Like, this is what I do. But I've realized that it's not so much about what comes out my mouth, is what I receive, to make whatever comes out of me, pause, to be more effective
Hmm.
to maybe change somebody's life. So
My mentor used to tell me the same thing, and he
Uh-huh.
still does to this day. You have two ears and one mouth. So you should
Yep.
listen more than you speak.
That's another one.
Hmm.
So yes, emotional intelligence, knowing when to activate your vibe, and even if it's not for somebody else, right? You might be going through stuff. You gotta know this is the time I need to get on my shit. Like this is the time I need to get on my energy level or my portal of happiness,
Hmm.
because you could set yourself up. You could really take yourself down a rabbit hole of defeat.
Hmm.
People out there that go through emotional battles or regret, and you start finding yourself moving ahead in life and going backwards, slow, day by day, because you haven't activated that vibe that got you out of that in the first place.
You know what? You just said something so important too. It's okay to have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for your energy to be off. You're not even. I try to be on 1,000 all the time, but I'm
Yeah.
not. It's unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have to take a time away and step back and recharge. It's like an introvert and an extrovert, right? It's like if I'm an introvert
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out with a whole bunch of people, like that's draining to me,
Mm.
right? It's just
Yeah.
draining to me, and so I need to come home and recharge because that's not how I am. It's not my comfort level. And
Correct.
the
Correct.
same is true for an extrovert. If I'm home too much, I need to be out because I vibe off of energy of other
Yo,
people. I need to be out
story of my
there.
life.
Right? So
Story of my life. Yep.
know when it's time to recharge and remember that it's okay to do that.
I
It's
like that.
okay to turn the phone off. It's okay to, turn the music up. It's okay to go out or to not go out. Just whatever makes you feel recharged, do that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. All right. So as we moving on, I just again want to give a huge shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and share this. Right, you might know people who can be blessed by today's message. So let's continue. So this is my favorite question, because some of y'all, man, has social media birthed attention whores? What's your take on that?
You know,
that's a easy. That's probably the easiest question of the night.
you know what? Actually, for me, I'm not sure if it's the easiest or the most complex or the most
Yeah.
complicated because yes, it has in a sense, but some could say that some of the modeling content that I post
Yeah.
could be attention seeking,
Mm.
even though the intent is not necessarily for that
Yeah.
because I've modeled for a long time and
Yeah.
that's what I do on the side. But
Mm-hmm.
again, the perception from
Perception.
someone
A
could
damn
be that
perception.
Candy's modeling pictures, she just wants attention when really
Mm-hmm.
Candy is trying to get in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, or
You're
maybe
trying to
that
get
maybe that
seen,
bag got your attention, right? And you just doing what you're supposed to do, execute.
and it's a tool for me, but
Yeah,
for you, it's I'm seeking attention.
yeah,
So I think, some of that has you. I don't know. You on that one. That one's a tough one.
yeah. It's complex. I think probably when we talk about attention whores, and of course whores, with the negative connotation to it, is more so of people seeking validation, right? Seeking validation sometimes helps cope with people who don't really have an identity, you know?
That girl can.
And social media, unfortunately, at times, you'll get attention from people from all over the world, all
Mhm.
walks of life. You get these weird DMs, you get weird pictures, videos. I mean, we're not even gonna
Dude,
go there. We'll save that for
that's a
next.
whole nother.
We'll save that for a next segment. But you start really seeing, and like for me personally, I start seeing people I know personally that they not like this in person, but as soon as they put that camera on, I'm like, yo, bro, where was this dude for the last 6 years? All of a sudden, you walking around like King Tut. Like, you don't ever buy me a drink. All of a sudden, you buy everybody. Like, just different things that you start noticing. And I think it's a gift and a curse,
Yeah, I
because
think
I
so.
think, I think social media sometimes bring out personalities that never would have never arose or risen out, because a perception people might see them as.
Hmm.
And you're not getting yelled at, you're not getting cursed at, you just hitting record, doing your thing, and hopefully you get good comments. If not, you go delete it. right? Versus in person, you in front of them being confronted like,
You hoping somebody don't remember what you did, or they didn't get a picture or a video, and if they
yeah,
delete that.
exactly. So how this connects to your own vibe and energy, right? You got to just find that balance. You got to make sure, hey, for instance, your great example, right? You have a set goal, you have a mission, and whether people perception takes it the wrong way or not, you have a target you're trying to hit,
Right.
right? So, and that's another thing when it comes down to having that energy and frequency that keeps you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, the biggest message I want to drive home with this particular segment is make sure the identity that you're giving out to the world is designed to bring back good.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Say
we
it
got,
again for those in the back.
I'm telling you, I do this off top. So if I don't say it the same way, just know this is a natural gift. And this is, I'm telling you, but no, make sure the perception that you're giving off, especially on social media, is designed, or that identity that you're giving off is to bring back good, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do good, to have a very strong synergy of good going back and forth. You might
Mm-hmm.
be here to inspire. You might be here to connect with other like minded creators, right? Things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you also got to, now here's another thing. Let me sit up on this one. What sometimes we don't really do is we don't take accountability for
Ooh.
the type of attention we attract, right? Sometimes, usually, now, don't get it twisted. If you're an attractive person, you're gonna get people attracted to you. But when we start getting into specific curated videos or messages, knowing what this is gonna give you,
Mm-hmm.
that's usually a reflection of where your mind and heart is.
Yep.
And then we, of course, then you're the first one to say, I don't know why I get all these DMs about this and that, but yet, you put it out there like that.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line.
Yeah. And you know what? And yeah, own your shit.
Own it. If you're gonna do it, do it. Like, I respect the person that be like, look, this is what I do and I'm proud of it. Versus
Mm-hmm.
fronting.
It's like when someone says something, right? They meant
Mm-hmm.
it. They said it. They had the intention for it to be heard, and now you apologizing?
That's
No,
a good point.
you
That is a
meant
good
it.
point.
You did it.
Uh-huh. Own it.
Own
Own
it.
it. Listen.
I'm gonna apologize for the fact that I'm not gonna apologize.
Ooh.
Ooh. I know. I
Exactly.
know. For me personally, I think my friends would contest to this. What you see me post is who I am. Now, there are parts of me that I don't, put out there, and
Uh-huh.
because I'm trying to grow through things and stuff like that. But for the
Yeah.
most part, what you see is what you get. The only part you're
Absolutely.
not gonna see is the candy that'll snatch,
Yeah.
snatch your earring off or something like that. Don't put
Exactly.
that kind of energy out
Yeah,
there,
you
though,
ain't trying to
right?
put that out there because they will. Yeah, she with the shits.
Oh
Let
yeah,
me.
yeah. I want that to be a sneak up. Oh, I didn't know she was about that life.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So moving on. Attention seekers versus influencers. Attention seekers versus influencers. So this kind of ties into, of course, attention whores, but influencers, I think, for the most part, you're specific with your content, or you're
Hmm.
specific with your messaging.
Right, it's goal
Um,
driven.
yes, goal driven, versus people doing it just to be looked at with no type of basis to it. I think it probably falls into self gratification, maybe
Hmm.
ego,
Hmm.
right? Or maybe you just need some love, right? And
Yeah,
I'm
maybe a
cool
little
with that.
confidence boost. Maybe that like that comes in, or that
Hmm.
comment with all them fire emojis does something for you. And
Exactly.
hey, if it does something for you and you leave your house and you feeling good,
Yeah.
do that. I think the difference. I I kind of think that some may have started with attention seeking and ended up influencing,
Hmm.
or it was a natural transition that happened. And
Mm.
then what you have is you have individuals that are now watching influencers
Uh huh.
and trying to replicate that, and really it's kind of coming off as attention
Yeah.
seeking
People
because
not.
they haven't met a goal, they have nothing
Uh
laid
huh.
out, they don't know why they're posting what they're posting, there's no end intent behind it.
That's a
And
good point. Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, because sometimes we are inspired, And if we are not really drawn out, and this is why I tell all my bosses to make sure you write out your goals,
Mhm.
all the way from the day to the week to the month to the year. Because what happens when you start planting these seeds out into the universe, you're going to start meeting people, seeing people, listening to people that you would never thought you would come across because now you're being more intentional of where you're trying to go. So
Mhm.
when you come across these influencers, maybe because it might be in alignment with your soul, your spirit, your vibe, right?
Mhm.
You got to now understand, hey, you have a purpose now. Versus, when you're just doing it just to do it, now you're finding yourself in this little dark space of like, yo, I'm not me. I don't feel comfortable in this space.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think one of my pet peeves is, and it's definitely, very a lot of controversy behind it, is people that do good deeds, right? And their intent behind it, right? I hate a lot of these social experiments or certain ones where they say, well, look, I'm going to feed the poor today. But yet,
They want to
instead,
record feeding them.
yeah. And I'm like, look, I'm okay with you trying to influence others to do more good, right? Because World Star, what do we see? Nothing but just negative fights, people getting beat up. So that's in a way they're influencing more bad to happen. So you can
Mhm.
record it. Why aren't we recording more good? But I think the biggest line is people are not really focusing on the mission. They're
Mhm.
focusing on what it looks like to get cool points, to get more
Mhm.
likes and more
Mhm.
comments.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That one's kind of a personal for me.
yeah,
Especially when you're thinking about people that are not in, good situations. I
yeah,
would rather the influencer say, on Thursday I'm feeding the homeless,
yeah.
and talk about the process of getting that started
Teaching, right? Educating.
versus posting a video of me actually doing it, because you
Yeah,
don't know that that person that you're feeding wants to be. Did you get their
that's
permission? Did you get the okay and the rights?
at
And
their
that to me
all-time
is it.
low.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they probably don't want that on the internet.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know what
And
I mean? And
yeah,
that's attention seeking.
yeah.
Specifically, in my opinion. Now, that's just my opinion,
No,
but
that's
that's
that's a
kind of
good point.
that for me, the homeless thing. I have a, that's one of my life goals, is to figure
Yeah.
out how to end that.
No,
And that's
yeah,
personal for me.
I agree. I think like you said, it just comes more on the intent behind it,
Mhm.
and also ask permission because hey, maybe I want to influence and put more good out into the world,
Yeah.
right? I want people to see your smile, right, and what
Right.
it does to help others, right? So
Mhm.
I think it
Can
just
you
comes.
share your story? Can we record this and you
Thank
share
you,
the story
thank you.
versus me just hide? And it's the sneaking of the camera for me.
Yeah, like yeah.
It's
Look, I want you
that
to,
part.
So
It's
this
it's
is
stuck in my hoodie because I want the camera to be right here. I don't
yeah,
want you to
doing
see me
too much.
recording. That's attention seeking.
Just doing too
And
much. Yeah,
yeah.
man. Like this comedian, I forgot his name, and he always be like, I need you to hold the camera while I go over here and act like I'm doing this, right? He's like hilarious. I'm gonna find his name and put it out there, but he's doing is he's mocking people that be yo, I need you to hold the camera. I'm gonna act like I'm in a really bad neighborhood and I'm looking to help
Mhm.
people, right? When really
Mhm.
they in the parking lot of Target or something,
Mhm.
right? Stuff like that. So really good point. Attention seekers versus influencers. Make sure you have a goal behind it. Make sure you have an intent, right? If you have a mission,
Yeah.
really, really important.
And
So
look, can we just add one more piece?
yes, please, please,
If
let's
you're
go.
gonna be an influencer, be authentic. Stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like influence things that you actually use, products that you actually use. If
That's a
this
good
is your
point. That
lifestyle,
that
like
tummy
let
tea.
that lifestyle be authentic. This is really your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you have younger people that are out there wanting to be like you, but you're presenting a false image.
that's true.
That is attention seeking. That's not influencing them, regardless of what your title is.
Mm,
So you
really
can
good
be
point.
an attention seeker that goes to an influencer, or an influencer that's really attention seeking.
Really good point. Really good point.
Yeah.
All right, so next one. I know you might have a list for this one, but Miss Candy, what kills your vibe? What just ticks you off? What does it?
Oh man. Ooh. What's To
Well,
be
look,
like
well,
politically correct on this one. You know what? Just not being mindful,
yeah.
of other people. It
Mm,
can really kill my vibe because you you're responsible for energy. Also, you're also responsible for energy, right?
mm, yeah.
You're responsible for what you give out.
True. True.
And so
Because you
that can
gave it
really
out. Like
kill.
how you not responsible if you're putting it out.
Yeah,
And
if you is in a crappy mood that you should,
oh yeah, you gonna
be
shake the
chilling.
room. Yeah, you.
Yeah, you gonna kill the whole. It's
Yeah.
like that one auntie that don't really want to come to the party, but she there.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
you came then?
Exactly. Because and I think also it just comes down to self fulfillment,
Mhm.
right? And being a little bit more selfless when it comes down to who you be around. If you're
Mhm.
not happy, what does it do for you to make other people unhappy with you,
Yeah. But
right?
I have a better answer for you.
Yeah.
Dishonesty.
Oh, dishonesty is a hell of a drug.
Listen,
It's a hell of a drug.
lying to me
Hmm.
will kill my vibe. And not only will it kill my vibe with you, it will kill my vibe with you for a long time.
Mm. So
Dishonesty.
you one of those. You one of those. Look, I know what you did in third grade, and I'm just not cool with it, bro. It's
You know
over.
what? We just gonna be cool at distance. I don't want to
Yeah,
hang out.
yeah.
You
And
know,
my
I'm
favorite, my favorite slogan is like, "Yo, I'm good. Keep your head up." And they just,
yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
we can be
good.
cordial, but I don't want to share a bag of popcorn with you. You know what I mean? No, just the dishonesty.
Yeah,
Dishonesty can really kill my vibe.
yeah.
Because I really do genuinely try to be honest with people.
Mm.
I might be too honest with some people.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing.
Perception,
Yeah,
that's not on me. That's
yeah.
on you. But yeah. What about you? What really kills your vibe?
Oh man, I got a list too, but I think the biggest thing for me. So this was like my gift and my curse, right?
Okay.
When I'm really focused, or if I'm determined,
Mhm.
right, to put 100% in something, right? Because I'm a natural go getter. Like I'm one of those guys. I
You was
think
born to hustle.
yeah, and Will Smith said it the best. He said, "If we're both on a treadmill, right? I will be the guy that will literally almost kill myself to make sure I don't fall off. I'm gonna keep running. I'm gonna get to the end goal, right? So I'm that person. So when I give that type of authentic energy to whoever I'm supporting or being around, and I'm not saying you have to be just like me, but when you take it for granted, when you think that these blood, sweat, pain, and tears, or me putting in that extra work is something that comes very common and it's not. I
Mhm.
take that really personal, and that just kills my vibe. It kills just like, what is the even point of trying sometime,
Yeah.
right? So as I got older, I'm gonna give y'all some good advice out there, especially for y'all tuning in right now. Um, be more specific in who you keep around you, right? You don't
That's
have to
so
be
important.
yeah, you don't have to be amongst everybody just to be around everybody. Understand who's in your life, and it's usually for two reasons: for your betterment or your detriment, right?
Mm.
So if they're bringing more bad to your life, whether it's influence you to do the wrong thing, whether it's gossiping, whether it's taking you off course from your mission, you got to cut them off,
Mhm.
because there's no point. And some people just feel so compelled. Well, I don't want them to think like this, and blah blah. You got to learn how to just not care.
Yep.
That's how I grew up. I just stopped caring.
Quality over quantity.
Yes. Oh yes. Big point. A lot of my
Mhm.
boys need to hear that. but but at the same time, it's true. Like it's getting out of control. Like yo, bro, that was like high school, bro. You in your mid 30s. At this point, you trying to die? Nah, chill out.
That's so funny.
Get some quality in your life. You be all right. All right. So as we finishing up, the last subject is vibe mastery. All right. So Hefe Talk again is about empowering your mindset to think like a boss, right? Have more control of your destiny, right? Take more charge. And tonight, in a way, was a mastery class for everybody on to really pinpoint the different things about having your own vibe and learning how to live within that moment, knowing when to cut it off, when to turn it on, listening to other people before you speak, right? Having the right people in your circle, having mentorships or masterminds to help you just kind of to get to that end goal of wherever you're trying to get. And I think that is the true essence of vibe mastery,
Mm.
right? Having being more conscious of it. Right. So what's your thoughts on, to add to that on what people can take away from tonight's conversation?
You know, find out what you love about yourself, build your
Ooh, we didn't
confidence
talk
in
about that. Yeah.
yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Find out what you love about yourself, build confidence in yourself, get yourself up earlier so that you can get to moving and wake yourself up and see the sun and appreciate the blessing of being able to see that. And then that vibe within yourself, your most authentic vibe, your most authentic self is going to start coming out naturally. But
Man.
you have to want, but you know what, to be a vibe, to be a good, you have to want that for yourself.
You have
No one
that's a
can
good
force
point.
that on you.
You don't have to. You could just, do you. Right?
And that's your vibe, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Just be authentically yourself, and then when you're your most authentic self, everything about you in a vibe is going to come out naturally.
I love that. I mean, I don't even got to follow up with that. So, look, everybody, number one, I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. This was a great season opener. I'm really happy with my choice of my first guest. Make sure you guys follow her at Miss K Renee. That's MissKayRenee. Feel free to drop me a message, comment. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast. I'm on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also we are on YouTube, YouTube as well. So, any last words, Miss Candy?
Be yourself.
Let's get it. Be yourself. Again, everybody be blessed. This is JefeTalk. Act, think, live. We are out.